A warm welcome, students. We are from Rice Bansal, and today I am going to discuss another intricate question related to JEE Advanced Chemistry, and the topic is atomic structure, because in the last session or last class I have discussed one of the most important questions related to spherical harmonics. So I am just going to continue the same pitch in that question, in this question. So the question is, for the 2s electron in a hydrogenic species, hydrogen-like species means there is an one electron system. The R2s, that means this considering the radial wave function, that is 1 by 2 root 2 z by a naught to the power 3 by 2 2 minus sigma into e to the power minus sigma by 2, where the value of sigma is actually given, that is 2 zr by n a naught, and xs, which is the angular part, which is given as root over 1 by 4 pi. And what they have asked? They have asked to find the value of x square plus y square plus z square for any point where the probability density is 0, and these are the options given. So first of all, this is the question, as you all know, that related to the spherical harmonics. Here x, y, z, that is the Cartesian coordinates, and when we transfer these Cartesian coordinates into spherical polar coordinates, we can derive the Schrodinger wave equation in terms of spherical polar coordinates. So how can we solve this question? कैसे क्वेश्चन को हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं? तो इस पॉइंट से क्लियर है कि फॉर एनी पॉइंट वेयर द प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी इज जीरो, प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी मतलब जो होता है वो है साई स्क्वायर, वो उसका वैल्यू जो है वो जीरो है. हम लोग जानते हैं कि एट nodal point or node the probability density is zero. That means the probability of finding electron at node is actually zero. So at node this R2s wave function, R2s wave function will be 0. So from this equation we can easily do that 2 minus sigma, the value that equals to, we can put as a 0. So sigma equals to 2, the value of sigma is 2, and it is given the value of sigma that equals to 2, that equals to 2zr by na naught. Na naught, that actually given. So from this equation we can easily calculate the value of r, and if we put the value of n equals to 2, because we are talking about the 2s orbital, so value of n we can put as 2. The value of r, it will come as 2a naught by z. 2a naught by z. A naught means here the Bohr radius, and z is here the effective nuclear charge experienced by the electron in an orbital, which is very, very important, effective nuclear charge. So the value of r here is 2a naught by z. Here they consider the find the value of x square plus y square plus z square. So we can write that now x square plus y square plus z square, that equals to, we know, r square, that is the correlation between Cartesian and polar coordinates. So here the value of r, here what the value they have, the value of r square, that will be 2a naught by z square. So this is the answer. So the option 1a is actually correct option. Here the option is A is the correct option for this question. Now what we need to know, we just need to know that how we have derived this x square plus y square plus z square, that equals to r square, how we can derive this formula. So for that we can have, we know that Schrodinger wave equation del 2 psi by del x square plus del 2 psi by del y square plus del 2 psi by del z square plus 8 pi square m by h square e minus v into psi equals to 0. We know that 3D wave equation for Schrodinger wave equation is like that. So if we transfer this x, y, z, this x, y, z, these are called Cartesian coordinates. These are called Cartesian coordinates, right? Cartesian coordinates. Now if we transfer this equation into the spherical polar coordinates that I have discussed in last question, that how we can transfer this. Suppose this is actually z axis, this is suppose x, and this is y, and if you consider any point having r, theta and phi, then suppose this is the origin, you can directly connect this O to P, and you can draw a perpendicular, and you can connect this, okay, and suppose you can draw a perpendicular from here and also from here. This is the angle, this belongs to theta, and this is actually called phi. This theta is actually called as zenith angle, this is called as zenith angle, and this phi is actually called as azimuthal angle, azimuthal angle, okay. And what this theta and phi determines? This theta and phi determines the angular wave part of the wave function. As you know that from Schrodinger wave equation, if we solve, then we can have the value of NLM. What is NLM? N is the principal quantum number, L is the azimuthal quantum number, and M is the magnetic quantum number, right? So how we can transfer this Cartesian to spherical coordinates? From this spherical coordinates term, we can write that psi x y z, that equals to r theta and phi. What is this terminologies determines? This r is the radial part of the wave function, theta and phi, which is called as the angular part of the wave function. This is the angular part of the wave function, or this is called the angular dependencies. Now from this spherical coordinates term, we can write the value of x, that equals to r sine theta cos phi, y equals to r sine theta sine phi, and z equals to r cos theta. Z equals to r cos theta, okay, z equals to r cos theta. So if we multiply, then x square plus y square plus z square, if we made a square and added this, then we can have the value of x square plus y square plus z square as r square. That is the equation that I have used to solve this question, that we are correlating the Cartesian coordinates with the spherical polar coordinates, considering the Schrodinger wave equation. What is this r term? This is the radial part of the wave function, this is the angular dependencies of the wave function, okay. And from these spherical terminologies, we can solve this question. Again, I am going to that question, that what they have asked. They have asked you have to need to calculate the value of x square plus y square plus z square, right? So from the spherical point of view, we can calculate that x square plus y square plus z square, that equals to r square, right? So what we need to know? What we need to do? They have asked the probability density is 0. That means we need to consider the nodal. We need to consider the node. What is node? As we all know, node is that point where the probability of finding electron is 0. That means probability density is 0. That means we can always do r square 2s at nodal point, r square 2s. This radial part's value will be 0. So the value of this wave function will be 0 when 2 minus sigma value will be 0. So what we have done, 2 minus sigma equals to 0. Then value of sigma is coming 2. Then we have here the value of sigma is actually given, that value of sigma, that is 2, that equals to 2z r by n naught. Here we need to put the value of n as 2 because they are talking about the 2s orbital. So if we put the value of n as 2, the value of r, it is coming as r equals to 2n naught by z. The value of r is coming as 2n naught by z. Now x square plus y square plus z square, that equals to r square. Therefore the value of r square equals to 2a naught by z square. That means the option A is actually correct. So in that way you have to solve this kind of question. This kind of question particularly very important for JEE Advanced, as in my last lecture I have told that particularly considering the spherical harmonics, there was one question in 2017. After there is a long gap, they have not asked anything regarding spherical coordinates, but this time there is a high probability in the upcoming years that they can ask this kind of question. So as you, मुझे लगता है कि आप लोगों को लगा कि कैसे ये क्वेश्चन हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. We need to consider the node. practically we need to consider the node where the probability of finding electron is 0. तो ये वेव फंक्शन का एंगुलर पार्ट एंड रेडियल पार्ट दो कॉम्बाइन करके हम देखेंगे. अगर रेडियल पार्ट को आप जीरो करेंगे तो रेडियल नोड आ जाएगा, अब एंगुलर पार्ट को आप जीरो करेंगे तो एंगुलर नोड आ जाएगा. पार्टिकुलरली हियर टॉकिंग अबाउट द 2s इलेक्ट्रॉन, दैट मीन्स ऑर्बिटल इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रेजेंट इन द 2s ऑर्बिटल. हम लोग जानते हैं कि s ऑर्बिटल के लिए देयर इज ओनली रेडियल पार्ट, देयर इज नो एंगुलर पार्ट फॉर s ऑर्बिटल, दैट्स व्हाई s ऑर्बिटल इज स्फेरिकली सिमेट्रिकल. एंड फॉर s ऑर्बिटल द वैल्यू ऑफ l इज एक्चुअली 0, दैट मीन्स देयर इज नो एंगुलर डिपेंडेंसीज. बट फॉर p and d orbital there is an angular dependencies. So in that question this is the way to solve. So the correct option of the question is 2a naught by z equals to square. This option A is correct. The value of x square plus y square z square is 2a naught by z square. Okay, I hope you like that. So in that way we will discuss some of the intricate question about each topic related to chemistry. These are that question belongs to atomic structure, and if you get benefited then please do like, comment and share and subscribe to our channel. हम लोग जुड़े रहेंगे आपके साथ. हर एक इंट्रिकेट क्वेश्चन हम डिस्कस करेंगे, उसके जो बिहाइंड में जो थियोरी है वो डिस्कस करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि ये सॉल्विंग कैपेबिलिटी जो आपका है वो आपको इंक्रीज करेगा. ओके, सो स्टूडेंट्स की stay connected and please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.